It's official. We have just experienced the hottest 12-month stretch on record in the U.S., and January to April 2012 is now officially the hottest January through April on record in the U.S. If this trend continues, 2012 is shaping up to be the hottest year on record globally. That's according to the National Climatic Data Center on Monday. They say that the odds of this 12-month stretch randomly occurring in any given month is 1 in 1.6 million. The heat has buckled highways, warped railroad tracks, and even a plane at D.C.'s Reagan National Airport got stuck, sinking into the runway when the asphalt softened like butter. This heat wave shattered many all-time high temperature records throughout the U.S. Not just, hey, this is a new record for July, but hey, these are all-time highest temperatures ever recorded for these towns, ranging from Minnesota to Georgia, even breaking records that were set during the extended record drought of the Dust Bowl in the 1930s.
Or as old man George Will would say,
one word, summer. We're having some hot weather. Get over it.
Yeah, and corn growers think that's just really funny. Corn growers in hell was the headline from Bloomberg News.
If the heat and dry weather continue, it can't pull enough moisture out of the ground, and all these kernels will just die.
Unless we get some water soon, what's going to happen?
Oh, we could lose easily 40%.
It was supposed to be a record corn crop this year, but Iowa farmers, as you just heard, now predict up to 40% of the U.S. corn crop could be lost nationwide due to the heat and drought. Parts of Iowa haven't seen significant rain since April. That's going to result in higher food prices for anything that uses corn, like cattle feed or the high fructose corn syrup that exists in most processed foods. It's having an effect on public opinion polls, too, which are finally showing ever higher numbers of Americans now agree with the scientific consensus on climate change, as more and more of them are directly affected by extreme weather events. That's despite the fact that most media outlets have ignored the relationship between global warming and extreme weather. Only 3% of broadcast reports mentioned it, according to a new study by MediaMatters.org. One of the few to mention it, PBS NewsHour, who even talked to an actual climate scientist, Kevin Trenberth of the National Center for Atmospheric Research.
Breaking records is not an indication of climate change, but breaking records at a rate of 10 to 1 versus the cold records, that's a clear indication of climate change.
But humans will simply adapt to all of this unpleasant climate change, says the CEO of ExxonMobil, Rex Tillerson. In a recent appearance at the Council on Foreign Relations, Tillerson acknowledged the scientific evidence of global warming, that greenhouse gas emissions from burning ExxonMobil's oil is causing the planet to warm, but he says it's simply a, quote, engineering problem.
So I'm not disputing that increasing CO2 emissions in the atmosphere is going to have an impact. It'll have a warming impact. We believe those consequences are manageable. As a species, we have spent our entire existence adapting. Changes to weather patterns that move crop production areas around, we'll adapt to that. It's an engineering problem, and it has engineering solutions. And so I don't, the fear factor that people want to throw out there to say we just have to stop this, I do not accept.
Got it. So he admits it's a huge problem, just doesn't think we ought to do anything about it other than some sort of magic engineering.